So I was praying like other Muslims 5 times a day, and one day when I was bowing my head on the ground, putting my head on the ground and bowing my knees, saying Subhana Rabbil A'la wa bihamdih. This is the verse that we say in Arabic when our head is on the ground. And a revelation came to my mind, and the question was, so why God is asking me to talk to him in a language that I don't know? Okay, so if you are God, you must know that I am Persian. Yeah, love, that's love. Yeah, that's something to laugh really about. And I asked him, and I said, if you're God, you must know that I'm not Arab. Why you expect me to talk to you in another language, and also, you want me to repeat things every day, the same things, you know? That revelation came to my mind, and I said, oh, so that's silly. I'm not going to pray anymore. But I said something to God. I said, God, if you are alive, show yourself to me. Yeah, I'm coming from Iran. Iran, as you know, Iran is a Islamic country at the moment, and I grew up in a Muslim family in southwest of Iran, so like every other Muslims, praying just 5 times a day, and knowing that God's name is Allah. And it came to the point that I was almost 17 years old, and my journey with Jesus started from there. As a Muslim, you must pray in Arabic because Allah is Arab. That's what, He understands Arabic. Even we've been told when we get to heaven, even if we are Persian, we speak in Persian or Farsi, we're going to have a 6-month course, and we learn Arabic and then talk to Him. So I'm sorry, but we've been believing in what they've been hearing because of the spirit of fear. So behind the spirit of Islam is the spirit of fear. So I was praying like other Muslims 5 times a day, and one day when I was bowing my head on the ground, putting my head on the ground and bowing my knees, saying Subhana Rabbil A'la wa bihamdih. This is the verse that we say in Arabic when our head is on the ground. And a revelation came to my mind, and the question was, so why God is asking me to talk to him in a language that I don't know? Okay, so if you are God, you must know that I am Persian. Yeah, love, that's love. Yeah, that's something to laugh really about. And I asked him, and I said, if you're God, you must know that I'm not Arab. Why you expect me to talk to you in another language, and also, you want me to repeat things every day, the same things, you know? I get bored if you tell me the same things. But anyways, that revelation came to my mind, and I said, oh, so that's silly. I'm not going to pray anymore. But I said something to God. I said, God, if you are alive, show yourself to me. 7 days after that, not praying to Allah anymore, and waiting for God, a live God, to show himself to me, I had a dream from Jesus Christ. But not only me, my mother, my sister, and myself in the same night. We did have the same dream of Jesus Christ. So Jesus, with 2 white papers, he came to our dream. And he said to my mom, Mary, her name is in Persian is Maryam, which is Mary in English, and said, I am Jesus Christ. Take these 2 white papers and pass them to Amin and Elham. Elham is my sister, and we were behind my mom. My mom got them and passed them to us. When she turned back to Jesus, I woke up. And that time was 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm an engineer and numbers are important to me. I still remember and I tell you why. So I said, what's wrong? You know, who is Jesus? You know, as a Muslim, you think that Jesus is only a prophet. Good prophet of love. Actually, that's what they tell us. And I said, what was those 2 white papers? And in the meantime, I was thinking about that. I heard my mom and my sister were crying in the other bedroom. I ran away to them and I said, what's wrong with you? Why you are crying this time of the day? And they said, we did have a dream from Jesus. And I said, are you serious? And they said, yes. And I said, I had a dream about Jesus too. Please share it with me. So when they shared with me, I bowed my knees, I joined them crying. I don't know for how long, but we cried and we said, God, what do you want to show us? Because we didn't have no information about Christianity. The Bible is not a free book to buy in the bookstores in Iran. So you can't find Bible. But the story didn't finish here. God didn't leave us to this point. 5 hours after that, 10 o'clock in the morning, one of our friends knocked the door and he came inside and he put a Farsi Persian Bible on the table. And he said, I am sent by God to share this word with you. I want to tell you, Jesus is not only a prophet. Jesus Christ is the Word of God, whom became flesh. He came, He left heaven, He died on the cross for you and I. For those who come to believe in Him will be forgiven. And my mom stopped him and he said, why you didn't share this before with us? Because we knew him for 5 years. You see? And he said, I had to come today. And my mom said, we did have the same dream of Jesus Christ last night. And he said, what do you mean by we? He said, me, my daughter, and my son. I mean, we did have the same dream of Jesus. And you're telling us about Jesus. What's going on? And he said, are you serious? What was that dream? And then my mom shared the dream. He bowed his knees and he cried for half an hour. He was weeping. We said, what's wrong with you? And then he said, you know what? You said 5 o'clock in the morning you woke up of that dream. 5 a.m. I heard Jesus' voice in my room. And he said, son, get up. Take my word to Amin's house. They are ready to hear my word today. So the God that you and we are serving is a live God. Even in the countries, clap for Him. Worship Him. Worship Him. With clapping. Yes, He deserves it. So the God that we worship is coming to people's life, even in the countries that Christianity is forbidden. Those white papers, my sister and I in Natural, we received those 2 white papers. Long story short, I became a petroleum engineer in Iran. I started to work in National Iranian Drilling Company. And also other companies like China National Logging Corporation. And when I was working on the oil and gas rigs, 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off. So I had my New Testament Bible with me, covered with the newspaper, you know. I had to, so for people to don't, see the cover. But anyways, so one day I didn't pay attention and something happened, and I was in rush. I had to get out of my unit, and my colleague was there. So my Bible he opened my Bible and he understood that's the gospel of Jesus Christ. So he took a photo, he sent an email to my manager, and then through this they understood that I am not Muslim anymore and I'm Christian. And my boss called me the day after and he said, we need to see you when you come back to the town. And I said, okay, but I knew in my spirit that something is going on. And then when I got back, I just went to my manager, and he said, we got this email and we've heard that you are not Muslim anymore. And I wanted to be wise, and I said, what's wrong with my faith, and am I doing a good job, or he said that we are happy because you speak English, you are interpreter and also petroleum engineer on the rig, but this is a policy for the oil ministry. For those who are employed by the oil ministry, you must be Muslim, because that's a national Iranian drilling company. And that point, I said, okay, if you want to know, yes, I am not Muslim anymore, and I'm Christian. And he said, look, because you are a good man, I don't want to put you in a big trouble. I give you this paper. Write down on this white paper that you've got a private problem and you can't work 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off because of your wife or your family. And I said, I don't have any problem. I just got married and I don't have any problem. But he said, if you don't do that, I have to pass you to the religious, segment, kind of a religious police. I don't know what we call it we call it Basij. Basij is a group of religious people that they work in every national company back in Iran. So I got that paper, wrote down that I've got a private problem and I can't work anymore here, and signed it, and I left it. So that was my white paper that I received, and I got sacked. And my sister also got hers from the Ministry of Education, because she was an English teacher. So we started underground church. We did have a couple of Christian channels on satellite from America. Iranian pastors used to have and still have programs, and they used to give us teaching, and my mom called them, and my mom is a brave woman. She doesn't care about anything. She loves Jesus a lot. And she called them, and with my dad's mobile actually, which after that phone call we received a really strict text from the center, and they said, we know that you contacted to the Christian channel in America. If you do that again, you will be followed by, I don't know the English word for it, but religious police and serious reaction, something like that. And so, long story short, my mom had that phone call. So the pastor said, Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 said that the heavy burden people, come to me, my yoke is light, And right after that verse, he said, if you are in Iran and you're watching this program and you had a dream from Jesus Christ, you are chosen. Contact with us. My mom got the mobile, just contacted them and said that, Pastor, we had a dream from Jesus. And here we go, what should we do? We need a pastor. My mother said, she said, we need Bibles. So said, stay on the line, don't talk, don't say anything else, wait. So they took our information, our address, our how many are we, and how we came to Christ, and then we started to have, once a month, they sent us a pastor from the capital of Iran, which is Tehran, to Ahvaz, my city called it Ahvaz. And then once a month we had that, which 1,000 kilometers are far from each other. So they came, and we started to have our underground, church or house church, whatever we call it. And so they brought Bible for us, and if my pastors, they were teaching us, not a normal teaching like Sunday, we go to church on Sunday, we hear half an hour message, or, we just say, please say hello to each other, something like that, and still we don't do it sometimes, but in that 2 hours, I can tell you, they were teaching us the whole Bible, because they said, we may be arrested and killed tonight, so we want you to be fed, so this is serious. And we were not just, listening, we were taking, I was taking notes and he got them and he tear them up. And I said, what's wrong with you? And he said, you're not allowed to take any notes. Yeah? So you have lots of notes, but we have to keep it here.
Very good.
Okay? Yeah. Actually, after 3 years, when they trusted us and we became like a, part of their, ministry, and, we started sharing the gospel with a way that called CPM, which we understood that our pastors used to be, and they still are, supported by Open Doors, which we are here, we hear the Open Doors, and I want to really encourage these people that if Open Doors was not there, my pastor could not get fed and supported. I could have not be here, and I could, lose my faith, or you can imagine that. So they used to go to Turkey, Malaysia, Georgia, or whatever, and have conference for a week, they used to get fed, spiritually fed, and sent back to Iran. And through that connection with Open Doors, and the Bibles that we used to have was supported by Open Doors, smuggled to our country. And we knew the name of Open Doors, but I never knew that I'm going to come here and sit here to Open Doors interview me. But the thing is, after 3 years, when they trusted us, so my ministry became, they become their taxi. I became my pastor's taxi. So I used to take him. And I was really privileged that I was able to take the man and woman of God, around and take them. But here, when people come to here after 1 year, they come to church, they want to become worship leader. What's wrong with you? just kidding.
It's only a
I
mystery.
became taxi after 3 years. Long story short, so I used to take him to different lanes, or in our suburb. I tell you the number. 40 houses in that year that we had dreams of Jesus Christ and came to Christ in my suburb. And those pastors used to go and visit, some of them, and in the meantime, some of others came to Christ. And I used to go, and I was not allowed to watch which house they are entering, but sometimes, I was doing that, and I knew that house, their son is my classmate.
Amazing.
But we never knew that we are in the same faith. Just something. 2 weeks before I lost my job, I prayed to God. So I want to tell you to make sure what you pray. I prayed, I said, God, I can't go to Bible college. I want to worship you freely. I want to do, your work. I want to become a pastor. 2 weeks after that, I lost my job. 3 weeks after that, losing my job, I was in Christmas Island. I came to Australia by boat. Okay, I had to flee from Iran with my wife. 3 months after that, I was in Brisbane. 3 months after that, I started Bible college. And 6 months after the Bible college, or 9 months after Bible college, we started the Persian church.
Wow, that's awesome.
And today I'm a pastor of Persian church in Brisbane, and also we started the Melbourne, and we're going to start a church in Sydney. So, and I lost my oil and gas. I was a petroleum engineer. I was working for National Iranian Drilling Company. I was cranky to God, and I said, God, I didn't ask you I want to lose my job. I said, I want to know you more, and do more. But I tell you what, that's exactly like Abraham. God asked his Isaac, but he provided the lamb. Okay? So I lost my job, but I tell you what, I'm a petroleum engineer. I work on the oil and gas rigs in Australia for #1 oil and gas company in the whole world called Schlumberger. I applied for them, and we don't have enough time, but just tell you one. Oil and gas company, you must be Australian citizenship. I don't have Australian citizenship yet. I have 5 years visa, temporary protection visa. And they interviewed me on the phone. My colleagues had interview for 3 days in Perth. They interviewed me on the phone, wanted to ask me 3 questions. They asked me 1, and they said, "We are happy, we're gonna hire you." And I said, "I don't have a passport." And they said, "Oh, okay, we're gonna think." And after 1 week, they came back and they said, "We changed the policy of the company to be able to hire you." So this is the God that we serve. If God is asking, if God is taking something of you, He has the better one in the store. Okay? So our God never ever owe His children. Okay? God bless you.
Just beautiful, amazing. I'm going to pray for you, Amen, before we go.